Okay, this story I'm going to need some help on. An admission from President Trump's longtime lawyer, Michael Cohen. He says he paid $130 grand to a porn star, adult film actress Stormy Daniels, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford, out of his own pocket. Good guy. That payment was made to the actress just before the 2016 election. Back in 2011, Daniels reportedly claimed to have a sexual encounter with Mr. Trump back in 2006. But she has not publicly confirmed the encounter. The White House and the president have always denied those claims. I want to bring in my friend and a woman who knows best, attorney Midwin Charles. Okay, Midwin, I want to start by reading part of the statement from Michael Cohen, where he says, neither the Trump organization nor the Trump campaign was party to the transaction with Ms. Clifford, and neither reimbursed me nor the payment, either directly or indirectly. The payment to Ms. Clifford was lawful and was not a campaign contribution or campaign expenditure by anyone. Help me out here.
And then he goes on to say, I will always protect Mr. Trump, which I think therein lies a huge problem for an attorney. Let me tell you something. I have been practicing law for 17 years. I have never known an attorney to just randomly gift $130,000 to a random person for no reason.
I've never known anyone to do it.
Just because it's Wednesday. You know, it's problematic on several levels, but he is an attorney. So you have to ask yourself whether or not this violates any ethical rules. Now, attorneys typically can engage in business transactions with their clients, although sometimes it's frowned upon. Usually, if there's a dispute between parties, an attorney will step in and act as a fiduciary and remit payment on behalf of one of the parties. But what's different here is you have him giving $130,000 to someone, which perhaps is on behalf of Donald Trump, even though he says it isn't. Particularly when he says at the end, I will always protect Mr. Trump. There are two rules of professional code of conduct that I wonder if he's aware of. One is Rule 8.4c, which says that a lawyer cannot engage in dishonesty, fraud, or misrepresentation in anything in terms of representing a client. And two, in representing a client, Rule 4.1, an attorney cannot misrepresent something to a third person. So I wonder whether he's telling the truth here when he says that no one from the Trump organization and no one from the Trump campaign asked him to make these payments. So
they might not have asked him to make these payments.
Why
He's been with Trump. Well, he has a quote where he says, just because something isn't true doesn't mean it can't cause you harm or damage. I will always protect Mr. Trump. What if there's an argument to be made? Listen, Michael Cohen has been Trump's lawyer for years and years. He's a huge Trump supporter. He's made a lot of money off of him. What if Stormy Daniels was going to come rocking forward and the story wasn't true? But Michael Cohen knew it would be horrible PR for the president, PR that he didn't need because we know the Access Hollywood tape is certainly true. What if he said, I'm just going to pay this out of my pocket? While it may be frowned upon, this White House, they're okay with frowned upon.
The problem with that scenario is unlikely. Why would you, $130,000? That's a lot of money. It's not $5 grand, it's not $3 grand, $130,000.
But it might not be a lot of money to zillionaires like the Trumpers.
But still, it's a lot of money if you're running around looking for tax cuts because you don't want to pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? Like, people want to hold on to their money if they have earned that money. For him to say that he personally took this money out of his pocket and gave it to her, you have to ask yourself, why? Why did you give it to her? Have you done this before? Is this typical in the way in which you practice law? And if so, I volunteer as client. Because I want 130 grand.
Me too. Michael Cohen, I'm game. I'll send you my address. 130 grand for no apparent reason. Giddy up. Quick, before we go, then yes or no, do you think there's any legal violation here?
I don't think so.
All right, then. Frowned upon? He's going to be okay with that. Up next, money, power, politics. Companies like Amazon, Apple,